So, the new semester is about to start, or maybe it already has, depending on where you are. But for those of you looking down the barrel of your first semester of college, or even if you're a sophomore who still hasn't gotten the swing of things, I thought up a few things that might help you get along. Some things I wish someone had told me when I had started. This won't always be an advice blog. It won't even always make sense. Promise. If you're just entering college, chances are you have to spend at least your first semester at a residence hall. Fortunately, one of the most important things I can tell you about is your RAs, or resident advisors. They're an invaluable resource for you. Even if the one in your wing isn't exactly your cup of tea, there are usually at least a couple of male and a couple of female RAs in every dorm. You're bound to find one that you connect with. Who knows, they may be from Alaska and you happen to be the only student in Texas who's from Alaska. Don't be afraid to turn to them for help. It's kind of their job. If you're the type that doesn't live on campus, you can still get a hand from the front desk workers. They're generally pretty helpful, or at least they try their hardest to be. And even if they don't know what you're trying to ask them, they usually have a computer right there. This is the one that takes some people a bit of time to get. This isn't high school. You don't have to see your classmates every day, and the people that you hang out with are people that you actually like. You can avoid the crap that comes with spending 8 hours a day with people competing to be popular if you so choose. All you have to do is make smart decisions and avoid the people who aren't mature enough to leave the attitude in grade school. Here is where it's going to get a bit tricky, because this tip deals with one word no one likes to talk about when dealing with college. That's right, money. The first part is to remember that college isn't free. This is true even if you're paying with grants or scholarships, but especially so if you're paying with loans, if your parents are footing the bill, or if you're handling it yourself. Every class you take costs money, and if you fail those classes, that's your money and your time wasted. I've had friends who have had to make entire semesters over because they didn't adapt well to managing themselves. Just remember that it's your dollar on the line, not your GPA. The money you put in for tuition also helps pay for TAs, your professor's office hours, and the various study sessions that are offered all around campus. Don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. 3 words. Tattoos are forever. Don't overload on classes. Conversely, don't take things too lightly either. Some people can handle 6 classes at a time like it's nothing, and others can barely keep up with 4. It's up to you to determine what you can and can't deal with. The goal of most colleges is to try and get you in and out in 4 years. But if you can't do that, there's no shame in a victory lap. If you can do it faster, good on you. Either way, make sure that you take a class load that you're comfortable with. And if you happen to find out that you've overbooked yourself, know the drop dates for your classes to ensure that you don't end up with a withdrawal fail, which stays with you your whole college career. Oh, and on this topic, get your core classes out of the way as quickly as you can. Once you've got your major decided, the sooner the better. It'll be a lot easier to plan everything out. Then all you have to do is manage to stick to your own plan. This is the part where I'm supposed to tell you not to experiment with drugs, sex, or alcohol. Don't experiment with drugs, sex, or alcohol. If by chance you decide not to listen to the aforementioned advice, at least be smart about what you're doing. You can seriously mess up your life in ways you can't even fathom if you're not thinking clearly. Keep a level head as best you can, and don't do anything you're uncomfortable with. That's all I can say on this, but I sincerely hope it's enough. This one's especially for kids who are homeschooled or attended private school, but holds true for absolutely everyone. People are going to have different views than you. It's a fact of life. Don't try to correct them, but don't immediately change your views either. Instead, take in everything for what it is. Proof of what a big, beautiful world we live in. If you hear something new that interests you, don't be afraid to ask questions. If you hear something that you disagree with and you feel you can make a compelling and logical argument, judge the situation before you open your yapper. You can learn some really groovy stuff from people in college if you just listen. Keep an open mind, and these can be an extremely fun few years for you. College is horrible, and it's beautiful. It'll make you want to pull out your hair and make you never want to leave. No 2 college experiences are the same, so take the advice given with a grain of salt. But I hope that you won't completely ignore it. Trust me, I'm a person on the internet.